Birth, written by A.J. Cronin. First, we have to know about chapter, and this chapter is an extract from A.J. Cronin's novel. That means it is very clear. It is taken from novel, and novel was written by A.J. Cronin. The Citadel, 1937. It describes how a young doctor reviews a child that is thrown away as a stillborn. Jim Morgan and his wife are a middle-aged couple. Here, Joe Morgan and his wife are a middle-aged couple, and through this chapter, and in this chapter, extract taken from A.J. Cronin's novel, and describes how a young doctor reviews a child that is thrown away as a stillborn. Now, they have been married for 20 years but haven't any child so far. शादी होने के बाद भी 20 साल हो गई, लेकिन उसके पास एक भी बच्चा नहीं हुआ. Now Mrs. Morgan is expecting her first child. Both her husband and her mother are feeling very nervous because the delivery of the child is going to be before time. Before time, that is period mature. अभी टाइम हुआ नहीं था बच्चे होने का, बट उससे पहले ये बच्चे होने वाला, ऐसा फीलिंग हो रहा है कि बच्चे हो जाएंगे. A young doctor named Andrew is called in. The doctor has to put in hard labor in the delivery of the child. When the child is born, it seems to be stillborn. The shock would be too much for the Morgans to bear. When the doctor is attending to the mother, the nurse places the baby under the bed among dirty newspapers. After assuring himself that the mother is safe, the doctor looks for the baby. Finding it under the bed, he at once pulled it out. It was a boy, perfectly formed. The boy was warm but was not breathing at once. The doctor ceased to receive the child's breath. After half an hour terrible efforts, he is at last successful. He thanks God and hands the child to the nurse. While going in the street, he keeps thinking, I have done something, oh God, have done something real at last. यहाँ पर जो बच्चे जन्म लेने के बाद जो उनको प्राप्ति हुई, जो उनको मिला, इट इज वेरी वेरी गुड लक एंड ही वाज लकी ऑल्सो. उन्होंने जो गॉड को थैंक्स बोला कि उन्हें जो आज बेबी मिला, तो वो बहुत ही खुश हुआ. नाउ नाउ आई एम गोइंग थ्रू द चैप्टर थ्रू द explanation. Andrew Manson has just completed his study of medicine. He began his medical practice as an assistant to Dr. Edward Pace in a small town of Blenley. He loved a girl, Christine, but his experience was disappointing. It was nearly midnight when he reached Branover, and he found Joe Morgan waiting for him. Joe had been married for nearly 20 years and now his wife was expecting her first baby. Actually, before that, I told in introduction, मैंने introduction में जो कुछ भी आपको बताया, वो पूरे chapter का एक summarize में बताया. Now, I am going through the chapter in the explanation way. An expression of relief came on Morgan's face at the sight of the doctor. He told the doctor that he had been waiting for him for an hour, and he said that his wife needed assistance because the child was expected to be born before time. यानी टाइम से पहले ऐसे उनका वाइफ ने उनको बताया कि अभी टाइम पूरा मैच्योर नहीं हुआ, पूरा टाइम नहीं हुआ, जितने मंथ होता है कि बेबी को लाइक कि आप कह सकते हो कि 9 मंथ, या तो ये बोल सकते हो कि 35 वीक्स, कुछ तो बोल सकते हो, जो डॉक्टर के अकॉर्डिंग था. ऐसा नहीं था, उससे पहले बच्चे जन्म होने की उम्मीद हो रही है. नो, एंड ही वेंट इनटू द हाउस. ही सॉ टू लेडीज inside the room. One was his mother-in-law and the other was the midwife. The mother was worried. She realized that the delivery might take some time. She was afraid that the doctor would leave the case. saying that he would return later, but looking at the family's concern, Andrew decided to wait. He drank the tea drawn in the tell kitchen and he was tense. उसे बहुत घबराया हुआ था, टेंशन में भी था. He knew, वो जानता था that the case would demand all his intention. He made up his mind to remain there until everything was over. जब तक पूरा काम नहीं होता तब तक बिल्कुल जिनको प्रॉब्लम है उनको तो टेंशन रहेगी. नाउ नेक्स्ट एन आवर लेटर ही वेंट अप स्टेयर. 1 घंटे बाद जैसे वो सीढ़ी के साथ ऊपर जाता है, he noted the progress made and came down once more. He sat down by the kitchen fire. Now, at last the nurse's voice was heard calling from the top landing, and you looked at the clock. It now showed 3:30. This is the time, and he rose and went up to the bedroom, and he saw that he could not begin his work. An hour passed. It was a long, hard struggle. Then, as the first rays of dawn appeared, the child was born lifeless. क्लियर. दैट मीन्स जब बच्चे ने जन्म लिया तो ऐसा उन लोगों को लग रहा था कि वो लाइफलेस है, उसमें जीवन है ही नहीं, बच्चे सुरक्षित नहीं है, नो शेफ है, लाइफ नहीं है, लिविंग नहीं है, नो. एंड ही वॉज हॉरिफाइड टू सी द स्टिल बॉर्न चाइल्ड. लेकिन सच तो यही है कि बच्चे जब जन्म लाया लिया और इतने सालों के बाद भी उनको देखने के लिए पूरे व्याकुल है एंड हॉरिबल हॉरिफाइड टू सी. एंड हिज फेस चिल्ड सडनली. There were two options before him, whether to attend to the child or save the mother. अब यहाँ पर जो सिचुएशन ये आ जाती है कि वो बच्चे को देखे अटेंड करे या वो बच्चे की माँ को सेव करे. Who to was in critical state. Blindly he gave the child to the nurse and turned his attention to Susan Morgan. She lay collapsed, almost pulseless. She was still under the effect of ether, and he gave an injection and worked feverishly until her heart strengthened and he realized that she was safe. अब उसे महसूस हुआ अब जो है उस बच्ची की मम्मी जो है एंड यू कैन से एंड यू की जो वाइफ है वो अब सेफ में है. Swinging round to the nurse, he asked for the child. The midwife made a frightened gesture, and she had placed the child under the bed in a flash, and to knelt down. Fishing among the sodden newspapers below the bed, he pulled out the child. अब देखा कि वो बच्चे जो है वो पूरे के पूरे पेपर न्यूज़पेपर में लपेटा हुआ और वहां पर बेड के नीचे है. वहां से उन्होंने पुल आउट किया बच्चे को. नाउ when Andrew looked at the child, he at once knew that it was a case of unconsciousness. That means you can say due to the lack of oxygen. उनको ऑक्सीजन की कमी होने लगी थी बच्चे को, इसलिए अनकॉन्शियस है, वो अपने आप को सही लाइफ में नहीं है, वह movement नहीं कर पा रहा. Instantly he was on his feet. He asked for the hot water and cold water and basis too. He laid the child into the icy cold water and then into the steaming hot water. 15 minutes passed. 15 मिनट बीत गया. इस तरह से बच्चे को वो होश में लाना चाहता है क्योंकि वहाँ पर पानी की व्यवस्था किया गया, वाटर की व्यवस्था किया गया. And Andrew was feeling a sense of defeat and hopelessness. The midwife was watching him in dismay and astonishment. The old woman stood there, leaning against the wall, and he remembered that how keen she was to have a child. And like a miracle, the little chest gave a short heave, and the child started gasping. The skin started changing color, and then came the child's cry. उतने देर में तो एंड्रू की सारे होश उड़ गए थे कि पहले उनकी वाइफ की कोई होश नहीं थी, उनके बच्चे भी एक्टिव नहीं थे, होश में नहीं थे. लेकिन पहले उनकी बच्चे की मम्मी को बचाया उन्होंने. जब होश में आ गया तो बच्चे की तरफ आया. जब बच्चे को देखा, अब देखने जब उनको जैसी बात करवाया फिर सबू से वॉच किया गया, देन ये अब देखा गया कि अब बच्चे में कुछ बदलाव आ रही है. दैट मीन्स वो चेंज हो रहा है. अब बच्चे की रोने की भी आवाज आ चुकी है. इट इज वेरी सिंपल कि जब बच्चे की आवाज आ जाए सुनने के लिए तब हम ये समझते हैं कि बच्चे क्या है पूरे जिंदा होता है. दैट मीन्स उसमें लाइफ है. और वो लिविंग है। एंड यू हैंडेड द चाइल्ड टू द नर्स। ही डिस्ड, ही लेफ्ट द हाउस थिंकिंग ही हैड डन समथिंग रियल एट लास्ट। अब वो इतना खुश है, ऐसा लगता है कि सच में अब मैं कुछ किया हूँ, क्योंकि आज उसे वो सक्सेस भी हुआ है। आज उसको उनकी वाइफ भी सही है और उनके बच्चे भी सही है। इस तरह से उन्होंने लाइफ में देखा कि इस तरह से समय सिचुएशन आते जाता है और बदलते जाता है। थैंक यू।